Post 1 and I'm sitting here staring at my phone and honestly, my hands are shaking so much I can barely type. I just need to get this all out to see if I'm completely losing my mind or if what I'm feeling is actually truly justified. It's about Mark, my partner of 7 years. 7 years. That's a long time to build a life with someone, to pour your heart and soul into a relationship, to make plans for a future that now feels like it's crumbling around me, not with a bang but with a slow, insidious creep. I've always been the supportive one, the understanding one. That's just who I am. I believe in standing by the people you love, through thick and thin. And with Mark, there's always been a bit of, well, a need for external validation. He's a charming guy, really, and he loves to be liked. I always thought it was endearing, a part of his personality. He'd often tell stories where he was the hero or make jokes that sometimes felt like they were at my expense, but he'd always follow it up with a squeeze of my hand or a whispered, "Just kidding, you know I love you." I'd laugh it off even if a tiny part of me felt a little sting. I told myself it was just his way, that he didn't mean anything by it. He just wanted to be seen as the funny, clever one, and I was happy to let him shine. I truly was. We've always been a team, or so I thought. I've supported him through career changes, family drama, even when he decided to invest a good chunk of our savings into a sure-thing venture that, predictably, didn't pan out. I never complained. I just tightened my belt and figured we'd make it work. I always believed in him, even when he seemed to doubt himself, or when he'd subtly put me down to elevate himself in social situations. I just thought, he needs this. He needs to feel important, and I was okay with being the quiet support system, the one who made sure everything ran smoothly behind the scenes. I guess I've been doing that for years, underreacting to things that, looking back, probably deserved a stronger reaction. I just wanted to keep the peace, to keep him happy. But lately, it's not another woman on a dating app that's eating at me. It's Sarah. Sarah is his colleague, his work wife, as he jokingly calls her. And it's not funny anymore. It started subtly, as these things always do, I suppose. He'd mention Sarah more and more. Sarah thinks this, or Sarah helped me with that, or Sarah and I had such a laugh today. At first, I brushed it off. Colleagues talk. People bond at work, but then it started to escalate. He'd be texting her late at night about non-work-related things, funny memes, personal anecdotes, even asking her advice on gifts for me. He'd be on the phone with her, ostensibly about a work emergency, but I'd hear snippets of laughter, or him talking about his personal frustrations with our apartment. I tried to bring it up gently a few times. "You two seem really close," I'd say, trying to sound casual. He'd always dismiss it with a wave of his hand. "Oh, it's just Sarah. She's great, really. Very understanding. We just click at work, you know? It's purely professional." But it didn't feel purely professional. It felt like she was getting a version of him that I used to get, a confidant, a partner in crime. The tipping point happened last night. We had plans for a quiet dinner at home, just us. I'd spent all afternoon cooking his favorite meal. He came home and almost immediately his phone buzzed. He picked it up, saw it was Sarah, and his face lit up. He started texting her back, completely engrossed, while I was trying to talk about my day. I felt invisible. Then he suddenly looked up, a sheepish grin on his face. "Hey, Sarah just asked if I could help her with this presentation for tomorrow. It's really urgent. I told her I'd pop over to her place for an hour just to get it sorted. You don't mind, do you?" My heart sank. "You're going to her place? Now? We had dinner plans." He sighed, a little exasperated. "It's work, honey. And it's urgent. She really needs my help. She's struggling with the formatting. You know how important this project is for both of us. Besides, it's just an hour. You can save dinner for when I get back." He said it with that tone, the one that makes you feel like you're being unreasonable for even questioning him. He was already halfway out the door, grabbing his keys. "Sarah's really counting on me. She's so much more organized than some people, but she gets flustered with tech." The subtle jab at me, implying I'm not organized or tech-savvy, was not lost. It was a classic Mark move. Elevate someone else, subtly diminish me, and make himself the indispensable hero. I just stood there in the kitchen, the aroma of his favorite meal filling the air, watching him leave to go to her apartment. Not the office. Her apartment, for a work emergency that couldn't wait until tomorrow, or be done remotely. And he didn't even seem to register how much that hurt, how much it felt like he was choosing her, his work wife, over me, his actual partner. He came back 2 hours later, smelling faintly of some unfamiliar perfume. He said they got carried away with the work, and then she made them tea. He didn't offer any more details, just a casual shrug. When I tried to ask him about it, he just got defensive. "What's wrong with you? Are you seriously jealous of my colleague? She's just a friend. You're being completely irrational." He even added, "Sarah would never be this dramatic about a work thing." Another comparison, another subtle put-down. I feel so confused. I don't have definitive proof of physical cheating, but this emotional intimacy, this prioritization of her, this constant need to defend her and subtly criticize me, it feels like something is deeply, fundamentally wrong. My gut is screaming at me, but my brain, the one that's always given Mark the benefit of the doubt, is telling me I'm overreacting, that it's just work, that I'm being the jealous girlfriend. So, Reddit, am I the asshole for being so uncomfortable with Mark's work wife, Sarah? Am I being unreasonable to feel like he's emotionally cheating, even if there's no physical proof? Comment 1. NTA-OP. Not even a little bit. This isn't about being a jealous girlfriend. This is about your partner showing a profound lack of respect for you and your relationship. Prioritizing a colleague over dinner plans you made, going to her apartment late at night, and then having the audacity to call you dramatic for being upset? That's a huge red flag. His subtle jabs comparing you to Sarah are particularly insidious. This isn't just work. This is emotional infidelity, and it's incredibly damaging. Trust your gut. Comment 2. OP, you are absolutely NTA. Your feelings are completely valid. The work-wife dynamic is a slippery slope, and Mark has slid right down it. His defensiveness, his gaslighting, and his subtle put-downs are all classic manipulative tactics. The fact that he went to her apartment for a work emergency when he could have done it remotely, and then compared your reaction to hers, speaks volumes. He's emotionally invested in Sarah, and he's disrespecting you by dismissing your very real concerns. This is more than just uncomfortable. This is a serious breach of trust. Update 1. Thank you everyone for your comments on my last post. I've been reading them all, and honestly, it's like a lifeline right now. I feel so incredibly raw, and hearing that I'm not crazy, that my feelings are valid, means more than you can imagine. I've been trying to process everything, and it's just a whirlwind of emotions, made even worse by what happened yesterday. Let me elaborate a bit on the night Mark went to Sarah's place. He came back, as I mentioned, 2 hours later. He was humming, seemed in a good mood, and definitely had that faint, unfamiliar perfume smell. When I tried to ask him about what they worked on or how the presentation was coming along, he was incredibly vague. "Oh, just typical work stuff. Lots of brainstorming. She's really good at bouncing ideas around." He then launched into a monologue about how efficient Sarah is and how she really gets his vision for this project, something he rarely does with me, even though I've always tried to be interested in his work. It felt like he was describing a date, not a work session. When I gently pressed him about the perfume, he just scoffed. "Are you serious? It's probably just her laundry detergent or something. You're being ridiculous." The dismissiveness was palpable. He then made a point of saying, "Sarah would never be this dramatic about a work thing." Again, that subtle, hurtful comparison. I tried to let it go, to tell myself I was overthinking it, just as he suggested. But the feeling in my gut wouldn't quiet down. The next morning, I was still feeling off. I was scrolling through my social media, trying to distract myself when I saw it. Sarah's public profile. I don't follow her, but she's friends with some mutual acquaintances from Mark's work events, so her posts sometimes pop up. And there it was. A post, clearly aimed. It was a picture of her and Mark, smiling brightly, standing next to a whiteboard covered in notes. The caption read, So grateful for colleagues who truly understand teamwork and collaboration. It's amazing what you can accomplish when there's no drama or insecurity holding you back. Number sign, work, life. Number sign, team goals. Number sign, positive vibes only. My blood ran cold. No drama or insecurity holding you back. It was a direct, thinly veiled jab. It wasn't explicitly about me, but it was about me. It was a public declaration, subtly implying that I was the drama or insecurity that was hindering Mark. My hands started shaking again. This wasn't just Mark's behavior anymore. This was her actively participating in making me feel like the problem, publicly. She was playing the pick-me role to perfection, positioning herself as the easygoing, drama-free alternative to me. When Mark came out for breakfast, I showed him the post, my voice trembling. "Did you see this? Sarah posted this. It's about me, isn't it? She's talking about me." He snatched the phone, read it, and then actually laughed. "Oh, come on, honey. You're really reaching now. That's just a generic work post. She's talking about general office dynamics, probably some issue with another colleague. It has nothing to do with you. Why would you even think that?" He handed the phone back, shaking his head. "You're getting completely paranoid. Are you stalking her social media now? That's really unhealthy." Paranoid? Unhealthy? He was gaslighting me again, making me feel like my completely valid reaction to a pointed public dig was some kind of mental instability. "Mark, it's obvious. No drama or insecurity holding you back? That's exactly what you said to me last night. She's echoing your words." He sighed, a long, put-upon sigh. "Look, I don't know what to tell you. Sarah's a great person. She's never said a bad word about you. You're imagining things. Maybe you should just try to be a bit more understanding. She's just a friend, a good colleague. Not everyone has to be so intense." He even added, "You know, some women just don't understand that men can have female friends without it being a big deal. It's really unfair to Sarah to assume the worst." The way he defended her, the way he minimized her passive-aggressive post and then turned it back on me, making me out to be the intense, ununderstanding woman who can't handle her partner having female friends. It was a familiar pattern, but it stung even more now that Sarah was actively involved. It felt like they were a team, and I was the outsider, the enemy. I tried to explain how hurtful it was, how it felt like he was choosing her, emotionally, over me, how his constant comparisons, his dismissiveness, and now her public digs were eroding my confidence and making me question everything. He just kept repeating, "You're overreacting. You're being jealous. It's just work." He even tried to hug me, as if a physical gesture could erase the emotional chasm he was creating. I pulled away. I couldn't bear his touch. Later in the day, his sister, Lisa, called me. She's usually pretty neutral, but this time she sounded a bit off. "Hey, OP," she started. "Mark just called me and he sounds really stressed. He said you're having a really hard time with his new colleague, Sarah. He said you're being a bit intense about it. You know, Mark, he just wants everyone to get along. Maybe you're just feeling a bit insecure?" My heart sank even further. He was already spinning the narrative to his family. He was painting me as the intense, insecure partner, and Sarah as the innocent colleague. It felt like the walls were closing in, and I was completely isolated. A part of me, the part that's been conditioned to always give him the benefit of the doubt, still wonders if I am being too emotional, if maybe I should just get along and accept this work-wife situation. But then the other part, the part that's screaming in pain and anger, knows that this isn't right. This isn't just friends. This is a profound disrespect, a subtle but constant emotional betrayal, and now a public humiliation. So I guess I'm asking again, with all these new details, especially Sarah's online post and Mark's reaction to it, am I still not the asshole for being so uncomfortable with Mark's work wife and her subtle digs? Am I being unreasonable to feel like he's emotionally cheating and that this situation is completely unacceptable? Comment 1. OP, you are absolutely, unequivocally NTA. This update just confirms everything. Sarah's post was not generic. It was a targeted, passive-aggressive attack, and Mark's reaction to it is pure gaslighting. He's not just dismissing your feelings, he's actively trying to make you believe you're crazy for seeing what's right in front of you. The fact that he's already spinning this to his family, painting you as the intense and insecure one, is a huge red flag. This isn't about you being jealous of a friend. This is about emotional infidelity and a complete lack of respect from both Mark and Sarah. You are not paranoid. You are seeing the truth. Comment du. NTAOP. This is textbook emotional cheating, and Sarah is an active participant in disrespecting your relationship. Her online dig was a deliberate attempt to undermine you and elevate herself in Mark's eyes, and his defense of her, coupled with his accusations of your paranoia, is disgusting. He's isolating you by involving his family in his fabricated narrative. You are not intense. You are reacting appropriately to a deeply hurtful situation. Your gut instinct is correct. Do not let them make you doubt yourself. Update 2. The past few days have been a blur of hurt, anger, and a suffocating sense of isolation. After Mark dismissed Sarah's social media post and then called his sister to spin the narrative, I felt like I was drowning. It's one thing to feel like your partner is emotionally drifting, but to have a third party actively participate in undermining your relationship and then for your partner to defend them and accuse you of being intense and insecure, it's a whole new level of betrayal. I tried to talk to Mark again, calmly this time, after Lisa's call. I explained how much it hurt that he was talking about me behind my back, especially to his family, and twisting the situation. He just shrugged. I was just trying to get some advice, OP. You were being so emotional, I didn't know what else to do. Lisa's family, she understands me. He then added, besides, you're making a mountain out of a molehill. Sarah's post was nothing, and you're blowing up about it. What do you expect me to do? He made it sound like I was forcing him into this position, that my reaction was the problem, not his actions or Sarah's. The gaslighting is relentless. Every time I try to articulate my feelings, he twists it, makes it about my paranoia or my insecurity. He even brought up a time a few years ago when I was feeling down about my job and sought comfort from a male friend. See? He said triumphantly. You did the same thing. You needed support, and you went to someone else. Why is it okay for you, but not for me? I reminded him that I had told him about every conversation, that I never hid anything, and that my friend was genuinely just a friend, not someone I was prioritizing over him or having late-night work emergencies with at their apartment. He just waved his hand dismissively. Details, it's the same principle. I've started noticing other things now, things I probably dismissed before, like how he always seems to have his phone on silent when he's around me, but if he steps out of the room, I hear it buzzing constantly, or how he'll quickly flip his screen away if I walk past when he's texting. He claims it's work stuff, and he doesn't want to bother me, but it feels like secrecy. Yesterday I was working from home and Mark was in his home office. I overheard him on a video call, and I recognized Sarah's voice. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but their office doors are close. He was laughing, a really genuine, warm laugh, and then I heard him say, "You just get me, Sarah. You really do." It's so refreshing to have someone who understands the nuances of my genius. He said it playfully, but the sentiment behind it, the implication that I don't get him or his genius, hit me hard. Then Sarah's voice, a little too sweet. "Oh, Mark, you know I always have your back. We're a dream team." It sounded so intimate, so conspiratorial. My stomach clenched. Later that evening, he was making dinner and his phone was on the counter. A notification popped up from their work messaging app. It was from Sarah. "Don't forget our secret meeting tomorrow morning before the team huddle." The winking emoji, the word secret. It was like a physical blow. I didn't say anything, just walked away. I couldn't confront him again, not right then. I just felt this overwhelming exhaustion. I've also noticed a shift in his overall demeanor towards me. He's less affectionate, more distant. When I try to initiate intimacy, he often has an excuse. "I'm tired. I have a headache. I'm stressed about work." But he seems to have endless energy for Sarah, for their work emergencies, for their secret meetings. I finally decided to confide in my best friend Chloe. I laid everything out: the late-night texts, the visit to her apartment, the perfume, Sarah's social media post, Mark's gaslighting, the overheard conversation, and now the secret meeting message. Chloe was furious. She said, "OP, this isn't subtle. This is blatant emotional cheating. He's disrespecting you, and she's actively participating in it. The work wife thing is just an excuse for an affair that's already happening, even if it's not physical yet. And the way he's isolating you, telling his family you're intense, that's abuse." Hearing Chloe say it out loud, the word abuse, it resonated with a chilling clarity. All those years of him subtly putting me down, making me feel like I was too emotional or too sensitive, always needing to be the hero, always needing external validation, it all started to make a horrifying kind of sense. He's been conditioning me, making me doubt my own perceptions, so that when something like this happened, I'd be less likely to trust my gut. I'm still reeling from Chloe's words. Abuse. It feels so heavy. I don't know what to do. A part of me still loves him, still remembers the man I fell in love with, the man who used to make me feel cherished. But that man seems to be gone, replaced by someone who prioritizes his work wife and gaslights me into thinking I'm the problem. Am I really being abused? Is this truly emotional cheating, or am I still overreacting, as Mark keeps telling me? I feel so lost and confused. Comment 1. OP, Chloe is absolutely right. This is emotional abuse and emotional cheating, plain and simple. Mark is systematically dismantling your self-worth and isolating you from your support system by painting you as intense and insecure. Sarah's secret meeting message with the winking emoji is not work. It's a deliberate act of intimacy and exclusion. The subtle digs, the gaslighting, the prioritizing of her over you, it's all part of a pattern of disrespect and manipulation. You are not overreacting. You are seeing the truth, and it's a painful one. Please, trust your gut and Chloe. You deserve so much more than this. Comment 2, NTAOP. Every single detail you've provided, from the perfume to the overheard conversation to the secret meeting message, screams emotional infidelity. Mark is weaponizing your emotions against you, making you feel crazy for reacting to his blatant disrespect. Sarah is a willing participant in this dynamic, actively undermining your relationship with her passive-aggressive posts and intimate messages. The fact that he's already turning his family against you is a classic abuser tactic to isolate you. You are not lost or confused. You are being abused. Please seek support and consider your options. This is not a healthy relationship. Update 3. It's been a week since I wrote Update 2, and honestly, it feels like a lifetime. Chloe's words, abuse, emotional cheating, have been echoing in my head, and they've changed everything. It's like a veil has been lifted, and I'm seeing Mark and our relationship with terrifying clarity. Every subtle put-down, every time he made me feel too emotional, every instance where he prioritized his need for external validation over my feelings. It all makes sense now. It's not just a collection of isolated incidents. It's a pattern designed to keep me off balance, to make me doubt myself, and to ensure I wouldn't question him too much. The secret meeting Sarah mentioned? It happened. Mark left early that morning, before I was even fully awake, claiming he had an early client call. But I knew it was for her. He came back a few hours later, looking refreshed and annoyingly cheerful. He didn't offer any details, and I didn't ask. The silence between us is becoming deafening. It's filled with unspoken accusations and his blatant disregard. The hardest part is living in the same apartment. He acts like everything is normal, or at least like I'm the one making it abnormal. He'll try to make small talk or ask about my day, and I just can't bring myself to engage. The thought of touching him, of being intimate with him, makes my skin crawl. He's noticed, of course. He's started to say things like, "You're being really distant lately. Is everything okay?" Or, "This cold shoulder thing isn't helping anyone." He's still trying to frame my reaction to his actions as the problem. I've also started doing some digging, not in a crazy, stalking way, but just observing. I noticed that Mark and Sarah are connected on almost every social media platform, and their interactions are far from professional. There are inside jokes, replies to each other's personal posts with winking emojis, and even a few comments from Sarah on old photos of Mark, saying things like, "Always the life of the party," or "Miss these days?" It's not outright flirtation, but it's a level of familiarity that feels deeply inappropriate for a work colleague, especially one he's supposedly just friends with. Then there was another social media post from Sarah. This one was a picture of a coffee cup with a specific, somewhat obscure, latte art design. The caption read, "Starting the day right with my favorite brew and even better company. Some people just know how to make mornings brighter." Coffee lover. Good vibes. No negativity allowed. The latte art was the exact same design Mark had tried to make for me once, a few months ago, and failed miserably. He had laughed it off, saying it was too complicated. Now Sarah was showcasing it, implying she was the even better company, and that she was the one bringing good vibes and no negativity. It was another subtle dig. Another way to position herself as the ideal, easygoing partner, in stark contrast to my negativity, my perfectly valid feelings about his behavior. I didn't even bother showing it to Mark this time. I knew what his reaction would be: dismissal, gaslighting, and another accusation of me being paranoid. Instead, I just felt this cold, hard resolve settle in. This isn't just about me being uncomfortable anymore. This is about a pattern of disrespect, manipulation, and emotional betrayal that has been going on for far too long. Chloe has been amazing. She's been checking in on me constantly, reminding me that my feelings are valid, and helping me see through Mark's gaslighting. She even suggested I start making a list of everything: every late-night text, every dismissive comment, every secret meeting, every one of Sarah's passive-aggressive posts. It's shocking to see it all written down, how extensive and consistent the pattern is. I'm still grappling with the physical cheating aspect. I don't have concrete proof, and Mark vehemently denies it, of course. But the emotional intimacy, the secrecy, the prioritization of her, the way he defends her and attacks me, it feels like a betrayal just as deep, if not deeper, than physical infidelity. It's like he's slowly, deliberately erasing me from his life and replacing me with her. I'm starting to realize that the man I fell in love with might have been an illusion, or at least a version of him that no longer exists. The supportive and understanding me has been taken advantage of, and my willingness to keep the peace has only enabled his behavior. I don't know what my next steps are, but I know I can't keep living like this. The constant anxiety, the feeling of being gaslighted, the emotional distance, it's taking a toll on my mental and emotional health. I feel like I'm losing myself. So, Reddit, I'm not asking if I'm the asshole anymore. I know I'm not. My question now is, how do I even begin to navigate this? How do I confront someone who refuses to acknowledge his actions and constantly turns the blame back on me? And how do I even start to think about a future when the foundation of my present has been so thoroughly eroded? Comment 1. OP, your clarity is heartbreaking but necessary. You are absolutely right. This is a pattern of emotional abuse and infidelity. The secret meeting, the social media interactions, Sarah's continued subtle digs. It's all designed to make you feel like the problem and to solidify her position in Mark's life. The fact that he's still gaslighting you when you're clearly suffering is proof that he has no intention of changing. You've moved past, "Am I the asshole?" and into, "How do I protect myself?" That's a huge step. Start documenting everything, not just for your own sanity, but for any potential future actions you might need to take. Prioritize your well-being. Comment 2. NTAOP. You're seeing the truth, and it's a painful awakening. The emotional cheating is undeniable, and Sarah is a willing accomplice in his manipulation. His refusal to take accountability and his continued gaslighting are classic abuser tactics. You cannot confront someone who refuses to see reality. Your focus needs to shift from trying to make him understand to protecting yourself. Start making a plan for your exit, whether it's moving out, seeking legal advice, or just creating a stronger support system. You deserve peace and respect, not this constant emotional warfare. Update 4. The outpouring of support and validation from my last post has been truly overwhelming, and I've spent the past few days rereading every comment. It's given me a strength I didn't know I had, a clear lens through which to view this nightmare, and a fierce resolve to protect myself. The consensus that this is emotional abuse and infidelity, and that I need to prioritize my well-being, has finally sunk in. I'm no longer questioning my sanity, I'm planning my escape. Chloe has been my rock. She's helped me start a more formal log of everything: dates, times, specific incidents, screenshots of Sarah's posts, snippets of conversations I remember. It's chilling to see it all laid out, a concrete record of the slow erosion of my relationship and my self-worth. It's not just my imagination or my insecurity, when it's all written down, undeniable. The atmosphere in the apartment is thick with unspoken tension. Mark is still trying to act normal, or rather, trying to make me act normal. He'll ask me about my day, or suggest we watch a movie, and when I respond with polite but distant monosyllables, he gets visibly frustrated. "What is wrong with you, OP? You're being so cold. I don't understand why you're punishing me like this." He still can't or won't see that his actions are the cause of my distance, not some arbitrary decision on my part. He still believes he's the victim of my unreasonable emotions. Yesterday was particularly telling. We had a dinner invitation from some old friends of ours, a couple we used to double date with frequently. I was dreading it, but I figured it was better than staying home in silence. As we were getting ready, Mark's phone buzzed. He picked it up and I saw Sarah's name flash across the screen. He quickly opened it, read something, and then a small, private smile played on his lips. He typed a quick reply, then put his phone away, but not before I caught a glimpse of the message. "Can't wait for our brainstorming session tomorrow. You always make work so much fun." My heart just felt numb. It wasn't even anger anymore, just a profound sadness. He was still having these intimate, playful exchanges with her, even as we were about to go out with friends who knew us as a couple. It was a stark reminder of where his emotional energy was truly directed. At dinner, it was worse. Mark was on his best behavior, charming and engaging, but every time his phone buzzed, he'd subtly glance at it, a flicker of distraction in his eyes. He even excused himself to take a call at one point, disappearing for a good 10 minutes. When he came back, he seemed even more animated, almost giddy. Our friends, bless their oblivious hearts, commented on how happy he seemed. I just smiled weakly, feeling like an alien in my own life. Later, when we were leaving, our friend Sarah, different Sarah, thankfully, pulled me aside. "Hey, OP, are you okay? You seem a little quiet tonight. Mark mentioned you've been having a tough time with his new colleague Sarah. He said you're feeling a bit insecure about her. I hope you're not letting it get to you too much. Mark's a good guy. He just loves to be liked, you know." I looked her dead in the eye, a cold, hard anger finally breaking through the numbness. "Yeah," I said, my voice surprisingly steady. "Either that, or he's sleeping with her." The words hung in the air, shocking her into silence. Her eyes widened and she took a step back, clearly not expecting such a blunt, gut-punching response. He'd preemptively poisoned the well, painting me as the insecure partner to our mutual friends, but this time I'd thrown a wrench into his narrative. The isolation he's creating is terrifyingly effective, but I won't be silenced. But this time, instead of feeling crushed, I felt a surge of cold fury. This isn't just about his emotional affair, it's about his deliberate manipulation of my reputation, his systematic attempt to undermine my credibility. He's not just cheating, he's trying to control the narrative, to make me doubt myself, and to turn others against me. I've decided I can't live like this anymore. The emotional toll is too great. I'm going to start looking for a new apartment. I'm going to talk to a lawyer about my options. I'm going to tell my family and my closest friends the full truth, not his twisted version. This isn't just about leaving a relationship. It's about reclaiming my life, my sanity, and my self-respect. It's going to be incredibly hard, I know, but for the first time in a long time, I feel a flicker of hope. A hope that I can emerge from this stronger, wiser, and free from the constant gaslighting and emotional manipulation. I'm done being the understanding one. I'm done being the insecure one. I'm done being the drama. I'm just going to be me, and that's enough. Comment 1. OP, that response to your friend was EPIC. Good for you for finally lashing out. It's about time someone called Mark's bullshit. He's not just emotionally cheating, he's actively trying to isolate you and make you look like the crazy one. Your plan to leave is the best thing you can do for yourself. Document everything, get a lawyer, and lean on Chloe. You're strong, and you deserve so much better than this manipulative garbage. Comment 2. NTAOP. That gut punchline to your friend was exactly what was needed. You're not insecure. You're a woman whose partner is having an emotional affair and gaslighting her. His attempts to control the narrative are disgusting. You are doing the right thing by planning your escape. This isn't a relationship worth saving. It's a toxic environment you need to get out of. Stay strong and keep us updated. We're all rooting for you. Comment 3. What did your friend Sarah say after that? I need to know her reaction. OP's response to comment 3. She just looked completely stunned. Her mouth opened a couple of times like she was going to say something, but nothing came out. Then she just kind of mumbled a goodbye and practically ran off to catch up with her husband. I don't think she knew how to process it. Update 5. It's been a whirlwind since my last update. The moment I uttered those words to Sarah, it felt like a dam broke inside me. The fear and self-doubt that had been paralyzing me for months began to recede, replaced by a fierce determination. Seeing her stunned reaction, the way she couldn't even form a coherent sentence, was incredibly validating. It proved that Mark's narrative, his carefully constructed facade, wasn't as impenetrable as he thought. The next day, I wasted no time. I called a lawyer Chloe recommended, and we had an initial consultation. It was incredibly empowering to talk to someone who understood the legal aspects of separation and could advise me on protecting my interests. She emphasized the importance of continuing to document everything, especially any financial details or shared assets. Then the hardest part? Telling my family. I started with my sister, who has always been my closest confidant. It was a long, tearful conversation, but her immediate and unwavering support was a balm to my soul. She was furious at Mark, heartbroken for me, and utterly validating of my feelings. I always had a weird feeling about Sarah, she admitted, but I never wanted to say anything because you seemed so happy. It turns out my gut feelings weren't as irrational as Mark had made them out to be. I also started discreetly looking for apartments. It's a daunting task, especially with the current rental market, but the thought of having my own space, free from Mark's presence and his constant gaslighting, is a powerful motivator. I've been viewing places online and even managed to sneak out to see a couple during my lunch break, making up excuses to Mark about errands. The secrecy feels awful, but I know it's necessary for my safety and to ensure he doesn't try to sabotage my plans. Mark, meanwhile, has become increasingly agitated. My continued distance and refusal to engage in his attempts at normalcy are clearly getting to him. He's stopped asking, "What's wrong?" and has started making more pointed, aggressive comments. "You're being completely unreasonable, OP. I don't know what's gotten into you. You're acting like a completely different person." He's even tried to turn it around on me, accusing me of having an affair because I'm so secretive and always on my phone. The irony is so thick it's suffocating. The other day, he found me looking at apartment listings on my laptop. I'd forgotten to close the tab. His face went from confusion to a cold, hard rage I hadn't seen before. "What is this, OP?" he demanded, his voice low and dangerous. "What are you doing?" I took a deep breath, my heart pounding, but I refused to back down. "I'm looking for a new place to live, Mark," I said, my voice shaking slightly but firm. "I can't do this anymore." The explosion that followed was terrifying. He yelled, he raged, he accused me of being ungrateful, of destroying our life, of being crazy and paranoid. He brought up every single argument we'd ever had, twisting my words, distorting events, and blaming me for everything. He even tried to physically block me from leaving the room, standing in the doorway, but I pushed past him, my resolve hardened by his venom. I spent the rest of the evening locked in our spare room, calling Chloe and my sister, who both urged me to consider staying elsewhere for a few days. The thought of being alone with him after that outburst was genuinely frightening. I realized then that this isn't just about emotional abuse anymore, it's escalating, and I need to prioritize my physical safety too. I'm making arrangements to stay with my sister for a while starting this weekend. It's a temporary solution, but it will give me some breathing room and a safe space to continue planning my exit. I'm scared, but I'm also more determined than ever. This is my life, and I'm taking it back. Comment 1. OP, I am so proud of you. That confrontation with Mark, even though it was terrifying, was a huge step. His reaction just confirms everything we've been saying. He's a manipulative abuser. Getting a lawyer, telling your family, and finding a new place are all excellent moves. Please, please prioritize your safety. Staying with your sister is a brilliant idea. You're doing amazing, and we're all here for you. Comment 2. NTAOP. His rage is a classic abuser response when they lose control. You are absolutely right to be scared and to seek a safe place. Document his outburst too if you can. Every piece of evidence matters. You're on the right path to freedom. Keep moving forward and don't look back. This man is dangerous. Final update. It's done. I'm out. I'm sitting in my sister's guest room, sipping a cup of tea, and for the first time in what feels like an eternity, I feel truly, completely safe. The air here is lighter, the silence is peaceful, and every breath I take feels like a step towards reclaiming myself. Moving out was a blur of anxiety and adrenaline. My sister and Chloe were absolute angels. We waited until Mark was at work, and then, with military precision, we packed my essentials. It was heartbreaking to leave so many things behind, tangible reminders of a life I thought I had, but the overwhelming feeling was one of liberation. As I walked out that door for the last time, the key heavy in my hand, I didn't look back. There was nothing left for me there but pain and manipulation. Mark's reaction when he came home to an empty apartment and a note from my lawyer was exactly what I expected. A torrent of furious texts and voicemails. He swung wildly between threats, accusations, and desperate pleas, all laced with his characteristic gaslighting. "You're making a huge mistake, OP. You're going to regret this. You're throwing everything away for nothing." He even tried to play the victim, saying how much he loved me and couldn't believe I would abandon him. I blocked his number on the advice of my lawyer and my sister. The silence from his end is now a welcome relief. The lawyer has been incredible. She's already sent him formal separation papers, and we're working on the division of assets. It's going to be a messy process, I know, but I have a strong legal team and, more importantly, a clear head. I'm not fighting for him. I'm fighting for my future. I haven't seen or heard from Sarah, the friend from dinner, since that night. I imagine Mark has spun his own version of events to her, painting me as the unstable ex. But honestly, I don't care anymore. The opinions of people who choose to believe his lies over the truth of my experience are not worth my emotional energy. My true friends and family are rallying around me, and that's all that matters. This journey has been the hardest thing I've ever faced. I've questioned myself, doubted my sanity, and felt utterly alone. But through it all, the support from this community, from Chloe, and from my family has been a lifeline. You all gave me the courage to see the truth, to stand up for myself, and to finally walk away from a situation that was slowly destroying me. I still have a long road ahead, healing, rebuilding, and rediscovering who I am outside of that toxic relationship. But for the first time in a very long time, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for peace. for genuine happiness, and for a future where my worth isn't dictated by someone else's insecurities and manipulations. Thank you, everyone, for being there for me. Your comments, your validation, and your unwavering support made all the difference. This is my last update here. I'm closing this chapter, and I'm ready to start a new one. Comment 1. OP, you did it. You are an absolute warrior. Reading this brought tears to my eyes. This is the ending we all hoped for. Mark's desperate texts are just proof that you made the right decision. He lost control, and now he's lashing out. Stay strong, keep him blocked, and focus on your healing. We are all so incredibly proud of you. Go live your best life. Comment 2. NTA, OP, never NTA. This is the most empowering update yet. You've broken free from his manipulation, and that takes immense courage. Don't worry about what Mark tells your mutual friends. The people who truly care will see through his garbage. Focus on yourself, your healing, and building that beautiful new life you deserve. This community will always be here cheering you on. Comment 3YES. This is the closure we needed. So incredibly happy for you, OP. Your strength throughout this whole ordeal has been inspiring. It's going to be tough, but you've already proven you're tougher. Enjoy the peace, embrace the freedom, and never forget how much you deserve genuine happiness. All the best for your new chapter. Best for your new chapter. Best for your new chapter. Best for your new chapter.